This is going to be just an informational video about a Carefree of Colorado motor for an awning. This particular one came out of my camper, and it's a freestyle type awning. I don't know the proper model of it. I haven't been able to find the model number, but this particular type of motor is used in several of Carefree of Colorado awnings. And this one has failed. And there are no parts. You can't buy parts to repair these things. But they put a new one under warranty in my camper, and then they gave me this old one. This one is damaged. It won't work. But being the person that I am, I have to know what's inside this thing. I got to know why it failed and what I can do to prevent it in the future. So this video is just basically going to be to show you how to take this thing apart and show you what's inside and how it works. And there is a possibility that if you have two of these, you can take parts out of one and make the other one work. That's what my son did. My son had the same problem as I did, different part. We were able to take this one apart, take a good part out of it, and put in his, and got his fixed. But as far as I know, parts are not available, individual parts for these things. This motor number is 060-594-301. And this particular one was made in February 27th of 2024. So I'm going to show you how to take it apart and show you what's in there. Okay, you do need a special Torx bit for this. And it's the type that has the hole in the end. Let me show you one. Here's a bigger one. This one is not going to fit, but you can see it's a Torx, but it has a hole in the end. And that's for safety. And I don't know the proper name for this type of bit, so I'm going to call it a Holy Torx. Don't laugh, okay? I don't know the name. All right, you're going to need one of these, and you're also going to need I think it's a number one, what did I do with it? Bit, Phillips bit for a screw in here, and the Torx will go, the Holy Torx will go over here and over here. So this is the one. I don't know what this is. This says it's a V2. It says CR-V2. I don't know. Anyway, let me change the camera position, and I will show you how to take this thing apart. Okay, first thing I'll do is I'll take this end cap off. By the way, these are the screws to this is the out limit switch here, or adjustment screw here. This one is the in screw. If your awning does not come all the way in periodically, this is the one you need to adjust. And you turn it clockwise to get it to come in a little bit further. So for right now, I'm going to remove this cover right here. And it's a itty bitty little screw. Oop, there it is. And now you can see what's inside there. And all it is these are, there's a worm gear in here, and then there's a gear here. And on this particular awning, what failed, let me get a pencil here. What failed was this gear. You can see this gear here is supposed to have teeth on it. This one does not because it's stripped. So, okay, so now that that's apart, I'll show you how to get the motor out. There's a motor in here, and the sensor assembly is in here, in this part. So I'll get the little torquey thing, my Holy Torx, and this particular screw right here has a nut and a washer on the inside. So when you take this screw out, be careful, don't lose that nut, it's in there, okay? If you take, so turn it over, and we'll take this one out. This one, wrong bit. Okay, this bit's not working. We got to find a bigger one. What's the bigger one? Well, let me pause you for a minute till I figure this one out. All right, I found it. This is a different one. It's a Holy Torx, like I said. Got a hole in there. And this one says it is CRVT-10. All right, so we'll take this out. This one does not, this is like a sheet metal type. It does not have a nut on the end. All right, so now we've got both screws out. And as I said, there's a nut behind here. So when you take this out now, the nut will fall out. So keep that. There's a washer too, but I've lost the washer. Now, when you take this out, there's going to be a lump of electronics on the end here. Now, I took this one apart to try to figure out how to repair it, and I did not know how to take it apart properly. And I figured, well, what the heck, I'm just going to destroy it. So this is what's left of the electronics that was on the end here. I'll show you a picture of that before I destroyed it. But this will be on the end here, like that. And these two wires go to the motor, which is in here, like this. This just runs the motor. And you can take these two wires, touch them to a 12-volt battery, and that motor will run. So that tells you the motor's good. Okay, so generally it's not the motor that fails. What fails is in here. All right, so I did not know how to get that off, so I destroyed it getting it off because I figured, well, what the heck. So anyway, and then I just shoved these all back in here like this and got them out of the way. All right, we're done with this piece. The motor's in here, it's good. Now this is the critter. This is the limit switches. And as you can see, there was 2 micro switches here. Let me use a pen. There was 2 micro switches right here. They're gone now. Well, one of them's gone because I destroyed it getting it apart. But this one's still there, and I can still demonstrate how it works. There was one over here. And the way this thing works is there's the worm gear here, and a brass gear here, and a stopper here, and this is the inside gear. This is the outside gear. In other words, this one controls the out limit of the awning, and this one's broken. You can see that's why this one was destroyed. This one is intact here. Okay, so now the way it works, and I'm going to put this back on for now because I need to have it on to demonstrate this. So let me put this back in here. And it is a little bit hard to do with my big fat fingers. Okay, I'm just going to do it this way, like this. So let me do this right like this. All right, it's good enough. Okay, now, while this is in here, the motor has a gear on the end back here. It's a big piece that is turning the tube that's rolling up the awning. And as it's rolling up the awning, this piece here slides into the tube and it rotates like that. And as it rotates these 2 brass gears that are here. And there's 2 big screws that go in here that hold this in place to keep it from rotating. You see that when you take the motor out. So as it turns like this, it's turning these two gears, these two brass gears. This one, of course, as I said, is the in limit switch here. And as okay, we had a little interruption there because I didn't have the camera in the proper position. So we'll do this now so that you can see this a little bit better. But as this piece rotates, it rotates this gear, this long shaft gear. And that turns these two brass gears. And they go in and out like this. They're reverse threads. As this turns clockwise, this one will go in. As it turns counterclockwise, this one will go out, or in, I mean. And on the end is this little piece right here. And as this turns, it moves this gear closer and closer and closer here. Let me get something here, a little pointer, so I can get my finger out of the way. Okay, this gear moves forward. This side right here is the in limit switch here. The other side is the extend limit switch. And as this goes forward, the brass gear, it hits this piece here, and I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it actuates this micro switch here. I don't know whether you can see that or not. And this will shut the motor off. That's the end limit. And it's adjustable. The position of this brass gear on this gear is adjusted by where is it? By this screw right here that goes in here. And so these move like this as this thing is rotating. And of course, on the end, there was another switch over here. As I said, I destroyed this thing getting it apart. And I found out after I got it apart that there is a screw down in here. But I also found out that this electronics is soldered on that. I would have had to have unsoldered all that stuff to get that thing off. So I just destroyed it, getting it off, because it's going back together. As I said, parts are not available for this, but the whole thing is a poor design. If you will notice right here, this long plastic gear, you probably can't see it, but it has a slight bow in it. And that's what was causing this to skip a tooth every now and then, and causing me to make it necessary to adjust it constantly. But every fifth time I'd have to adjust it because the awning would not go all the way in. This side, for some reason over here, froze this gear up. This brass gear right here is locked onto this shaft, and it twisted this shaft off. You can see it moves. It goes clear through, and it stripped it. So basically this side, well, this whole thing is trash now, but there are some good parts in here. You can take these things out and replace them in your awning if that's what failed. But they both have limit switches. This one here is here, and this one here is here. This moves forward like that and hits the switch. And that's how they work. I cut the wires off. This is the wire that comes out here and goes up over the top and provides power to the awning. So basically, it's not repairable, but if you have two of these, you might be able to salvage parts out of one to make the other one work. So I hope that was interesting for you. Like I said, it's not repairable. As far as I know, parts are not available. But like I said, I'm the type of person I got to know what's in here. There's no way I can throw this thing out without knowing what's inside, what failed, and if there's a possible way to fix it or prevent it from breaking in the future. So that's the end of my story. Good luck if you want to try this. Bye-bye.